Today we are going to cover how to set up Kubernetes cluster on AWS using KOPS. Okay, so here set up Kubernetes on AWS using KOPS. Okay. So let's understand what is KOPS. So KOPS is nothing but Kubernetes operations. Is used to create, destroy, upgrade, and maintain production-grade, highly available Kubernetes cluster using command line. And these are the features. Automatic creation of Kubernetes cluster in AWS and GC, and in Azure there is a beta version. Next, we can create multi-cluster master with HA. HA means high availability. Automatic creation of VPC security group while creating cluster. No need to take care. Then supports public and private DNS. Runs in auto scaling. We can add and edit the cluster at runtime. Cluster configuration such as master and worker node. And below are requirement. So what we need to create a KOPS cluster on AWS. So we need an AWS account. We need a domain to access Kubernetes API. Okay. So domain. So for example, you want to expose your cluster outside, or you want to integrate your cluster in a CI like a Jenkins, GitLab, or GitHub, any other GitOps or Argo CD. So there we have to configure your Kubernetes API with the domain name. Okay, that's why we need a domain. So here for this, so without domain, you can also create a cluster, but that will be in a private. So here I have purchased a domain in GoDaddy, and this domain we can use for this cluster. Then we need a IAM user. Then then next we need a S3 bucket with the versioning enabled. So when we modify cluster, all the states of your cluster are stored in the S3 bucket. To store Kubernetes KOPS cluster state, then we need an IAM user with the full S3 EC2 Route 53 VPC access, because this cluster is going to interact with these AWS services like S3 for storing the states, EC2 for creating master and worker node, Route 53 to map the domain name or hosted zone, then a VPC. So we need a VPC. So already we have seen here automatic creation of cluster, VPC, security group, everything it takes care. Just we have to run a configuration. Then we need a Ubuntu instance. It automatic selects. Then AWS CLI. Okay, these are the same requirement prerequisites to create a cluster. And these are the feature. So if you can go to official AWS site, KOPS on AWS. You can go both the site. So let's go to the, here we are going to use AWS. So here given, these are the features like self-healing, horizontal scaling, service discovery and load balancing, application upgrade and load back. Okay. Then we need a kubectl. We have to install this kubectl. Then IAM permission. We need these IAM permission. IAM permission like Amazon EC2 full access, Route 53 full access, Amazon S3 full access, IAM full access, and Amazon VPC full access, because our cluster is going to interact with these permissions, these services. Then here, these are the command to create S3 bucket. We can enable the versioning using this bucket versioning. Then we can configure Route 53 and DNS, map the domain name. Then cluster, we have to pass the parameter, KOPS, create cluster name, zone, state, yes. These are the parameters just given the overview. Okay, to how the here just the overview is given, and you can look at the official Kubernetes site. Here it is mentioned fully automated DNS identify, self-healing, multiple OS support, then HA, then can directly provisioning and Terraform. Also, we can create a cluster using Terraform that we are going to cover in a Terraform session. Then these are the like commands. Okay. So here we have the instruction. So here we have the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, these are the 9 steps to create a Kubernetes cluster using KOPS method. So here all the prerequisite we have. So here we have to create IAM user. Let's see. Let me see the user is created or not. I have created IAM user. Here, let's go to the IAM user. IAM. And here are my users. This one DevOps in. I have created this one. And for this user, I have given already permission. Route 53, EC2, IAM full access, admin access, VPC full access, and S3 full access as per the documentation. So this requirement is done. This one. Next, create a domain that we will create. So here, domain name.
I thought you would have showed us. I mean, you created the IAM the permission before before the class. So yeah, this permission you would have this particular session also would have been recorded so that we can follow step by step according to your documentation which you are going to give us, how to create all those roles.
So
and
these are the prerequisites. Here I have mentioned the prerequisite.
We have an AWS account, that's fine. We have to know how to create the domain. We have to know how to create all this permission and attach to that user,
Okay, let me say, okay. I thought you know already. So let me delete this user. Okay. I will delete this user. Don't worry.
Okay.
This one I will delete. User got deleted. Then I will delete this one. Okay, so here first requirement is create domain to access Kubernetes API. So I have purchased a domain already. I have purchased. Okay, but if you don't have domain, no problem. But in a real time scenario, we use domain name. Okay.
Okay.
I have purchased in GoDaddy. You can also purchase if you want.
How much is it to purchase this domain?
Domain purchases in Indian rupees $300 means 300 rupees means $5.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't have, no problem. You can use the here manage domain. Manage domains. Okay, here we have to click my product. And let me use this one. edit, manage DNS. Check what domain we're using. Okay, it is. So I will create a subdomain here. So first point is creating domain to access Kubernetes API. So we have the domain. We will create a subdomain here. Go to the route 53.
Okay. So the main domain will be on the GoDaddy.
Yes,
Then
domain.
the subdomain, we have to create it using the Route 53 on AWS, right?
Correct.
You see.
Here we have AWS account. Here we have domain. Now we have to create a hosted zone in Route 53 and point AWS name server to domain.
Okay.
So here, if you go to Route 53 dashboard, here we have the option to click on get hosted zone.
Okay.
Then here we are giving this public hosted zone. If you don't have domain, you have to select private hosted zone. Okay.
Okay.
Then I have the domain, so I'm selecting public hosted zone.
Yeah, that is GoDaddy, right?
Yes. KTS. I am giving subdomain name is KTS. Okay. Then just I'm giving. Then click on create hosted zone. So KTS dot host. Okay. Let's check the spelling. PECH. Hostechnics.in is my domain, main domain. It is my domain.
Okay.
Then create hosted zone. So here hosted zone got created, and here we got.
There is two. It's two there.
Yes, this is the SOA record. This type C, this record. This is SOA. This is the NS. We need only name server.
Okay. So when you create that, it will give you two items: the nested, the name server and SOA. What is this SOA?
Yes, it is the start of authority. Okay, this is one of the record. Okay, but we don't use. We use only NS. NS.
Okay.
C name like this one. Here NS, go to the GoDaddy, and here in DNS management, click on add. Here we have to give type is a NS, type is NS. Okay.
Okay.
Then our domain name is K8S only. Then value, we will copy this. For NS record, I have to point. Copy this.
Only one, only the first one?
No, all one. And here we will do the time 60 seconds by default. Then hide record. 600. Okay. Minimum is 600. Maximum like this one. Time to view. Okay. Add record. Okay. Then repeat. Next. NS. FS.
Okay, you add all of them.
Yes.
All the four.
all the four.
Okay. I wouldn't know how to do this.
Okay. Yes.
So that 600 means how many times you will use it or what?
No, these are the availability zone. These are the routes. Suppose this is location is not available, so your domain will working from UK.
Okay.
Or this one like this one.
Okay, that second 600, what is the meaning?
Which one?
Waiting time for 600 seconds. If it's not connected, then it goes to the next, I think.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
We have pointed 4 times here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. This done. Now here we have to S3 bucket. We need S3 bucket. So go to the S3. We will do the same bucket name. You can give any bucket name, but I am keeping the same bucket name. So I will delete this one. Already we have. This also we do.
Was that part of the class? The elastic beanstalk?
No.
Okay.
I'm just now let's create a bucket. Then I'm giving it this same name. Okay.
Okay.
Not for confusion. Okay, same name. Create this one Mumbai location. There here we have to select bucket versioning enable.
Okay.
Click on create bucket. Next, this then next is a I am user this permission. So here search on I am. Click on user, add user, give the name. Then we need access key. We don't need this console. Then next permission. And here click on attach existing permission.
Okay.
Just I'm giving admin. Then we need IAM full access. IAM full access. Then we need a S3. S3 full access. Then we need a route 53. Route 53. Then we need a VPC. Then we need a EC2. EC2, route 53, S3, IAM, VPC. For five axis.
Okay. 5 permission.
Review 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Additional admin access and create user.
Okay.
And here we will download this user details. Giving this name, save. And here we got access key and secret key. Okay, all is done.
Yeah.
We need a management one additional instance for EKs and ops, because to manage it act as a bastion host or SS tunnel or anything we can call. Okay, so we cannot directly interact with the master node as we have seen in Kubernetes. Here we have to create one additional node. That node we can call it as a management node, bastion host, or SS tunnel. Anything you can call. So we'll create that node instance. Starting, click on launch instance.
Is that in the documentation?
Here, install AWS CLI on Ubuntu.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Create an instance. Install AWS.
Okay, we call it as a management instance. Okay.
Okay. Bastion host.
Okay. Here I will select Ubuntu 22 T2 micro. Yes, T2 micro is enough.
Okay.
Instance, add storage, giving PGB. Tags, configure security group. Here I am selecting default. Trigger launch, key pair, this one, and launch instances. And then view instance. Here I'm giving KOPS.
Bastion or management.
Let's connect to this instance. Default username is Ubuntu. Let's enter the font size. Okay. Now first install AWS CLI. I have copied this command from AWS official site. Download the AWS CLI using curl. Install unzip package. Then unzip this AWS CLI package. Next, install AWS CLI. Now we have to install kubectl. Let's download the same step. Download the kubectl using curl. Then give the executable permission to the kubectl package. Then move to kubectl to user local bin. Next, here next package is KOPS, because our method is KOPS. Download the KOPS package. Next is give the executable permission to KOPS package. Then move to the user local bin. Next, now this creating domain and hosted zone is done. Create and configure IAM user in AWS is done. Next, once this done with this permission, now next command is AWS configure.
Are we attaching those permissions to this particular management node?
Yes.
Okay.
AWS
But you've not attached yet, have you?
Not attaches. So after this one, 6 step, we have to run this command.
Okay, okay.
Then here AWS access key. Secret key. Default region is AP Mumbai location and code is AP South 1. So depend on what version you are using. For practice, I am using this AP South 1.
Okay.
So default format is JSON. Now here we have done this step, S3 packet. Now we have to run this command to store the KOPS state files. We have to run this one with the bucket name. So we have this bucket name. Run this command. Next, we have to create SSH key to connect. Why this? If you generate SSH key from this management node, you can connect to the master and worker node. For this, we need a SSH key gen. Same default one only. Next. Now all the prerequisites done. Now we have to create the cluster. Now, if we search here, KOPS create -. So here we have all the commands like cluster, creating regional cluster. We can create using KOPS. Using KOPS create, we can create a cluster instance. Create. For to use how to use KOPS create, then -a file name KOPS create. Like to create a cluster, like they are giving this, you can create using YML, or you can give the flag name. Okay, is like available command.
So here we don't use kubectl anymore.
No, here we use the KOPS to create.
Okay.
Then let's see. KOPS create cluster -. Okay, here are the parameters to pass in KOPS create cluster. So in the cluster, you can use S3 bucket -S3 zone, node count, node size, master size, worker size, networking topology, best chain, export, all the parameters you can give. Here we can give parameters. So here are other parameters. So from this parameter, we have used this one, KOPS create cluster -- cloud AWS zone AP South 1A networking Calico. Then name, given the name, then DNS, then what is my DNS public name. So here my DNS is domain name is .in. Okay. So here also I will give .in. Then update. Previously I was using this domain name. Okay, so here KOPS create cluster -- cloud is AWS, zone in AP South 1A, networking Calico, name is this one, is this one, and DNS is my public. Okay, if you don't have DNS, then you can use private. Okay, here is you can use, instead of public, you can use private if you don't have domain name. Okay, so here I'm running this command. Copy this. Here checking prerequisite. So it's checking how the prerequisites are correct or not. So cloud provider ID equal to AWS, assign this CIDR, subnet AP South 1A, previewing changes. Let's wait. Okay, then executing how this is, how the prerequisites are done, and he will create all these resources. Okay. Then next, end of the output. See this. Must specify -- yes to apply changes. Suggestion, list cluster, we can use this command. To edit cluster, you can this command. Edit your node instance group, you can use this command. If you want to edit master instance group, you can use this command. Finally, configure your cluster with this command. So copy this command and run it. Now finally it will create cluster. So in a KOPS, it will create a two group, one for instance, one for master. There we can change the master node size, worker node size, auto scaling, minimum, maximum, and other parameters. Okay. So KOPS is a self-managed cluster. So here it is creating private key, issuing new certificate. It will create a kubelet, kube area, scheduler, or this one. Okay, now here, this one starting, it should be ready in a few minutes. Then how much time we have to wait?
600, right?
Huh? We have to wait for 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
And after 5 to 10 minutes, we can run this command. KOPS validate cluster. Okay. So now in the background, it's creating. Now the cluster is not ready. Validation failed. And something it is creating. Please wait about 5 to 10 minutes for a master to start, DNS control to launch, DNS to propagate, and this message giving. Okay, we have to wait for 2 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, but it should ready in within 5 minutes.
Okay.
And here it is creating two node group instance. As I said it will create two instance group, one for master, one for node. Here there is no auto scaling, only minimum maximum. Here we can change the node count. Okay, when the load increases on your cluster, it automatically goes to the maximum node. You have to specify numbers here. If there is no load, it automatically comes to the minimum workload. It will
So you have to do that manually?
No, just you have to give the size here, minimum and max. That's it. Miss here we have to edit instance group and we have to give manually. Okay, this is a one-time task. So if you go AWS, if you refresh here, it automatically creates master and worker node. Worker node, the name, and automatically it creates, as I said you, security groups. So this security group, it creates automatically master node, worker node, how this one, then port also. If we go here, inbound rule, everything is take care. It's like one type of automation.
Oh, that's good. Interesting.
You see this. So it opened out the port for master nodes, which port he needs out this one. We don't have to do any manual work. Nothing.
What Shiv does, what about the Kubernetes? Because on my work laptop, the only application that relates to Kubernetes is Docker Desktop, and that Docker Desktop, you have Kubernetes in there. What is the difference between that in real world scenario? Even though in my job I don't use it, because we have the platform engineers that handle those, but we don't have Kubernetes on our platform. All what we have is Docker containers running on ECS, you understand, for orchestration. Yes. So what about in what use case can we use the Docker Desktop with that Kubernetes enabled inside?
No, with the Docker Desktop you can't. So if you are using system, there is a Kubernetes package or kubeadm built that you can use.
I don't understand.
No, do you want to use Docker Desktop?
Yeah, on my work laptop there is Docker Desktop, and even when I joined the company.
So 1 minute. Let's join to one. Is it disconnecting? Let's join again.
The same link, right?
Yes, next disconnecting. Let's join same link.
Okay.